My goodness. I tried your trick this morning of chugging water.
Right. For anyone who who isn't familiar, Kate sips her water throughout the show many times when we are in the middle of a conversation. And then I'll hear glug. And,
glug, glug, glug. And so will the listeners.
Yeah, you might not hear it in your vehicle if you're driving and, hitting all the various different potholes that are around,
Right, right.
And so I'd like to give her flack over drinking on mic too much.
Matt's suggestion was when you first wake up, because my answer is I'm so thirsty in the morning because I don't drink at night. And Matt said when you wake up, just chug 8 to 10 ounces, right? Is that your suggestion?
I said I could take down 20 at any...
golly.
At a clip, but yeah, something like that would be good. So
I went for 8, and I thought I was going to puke. I felt so sick for about 10 minutes. I was like, I can't do this.
Was it from the water, or were you thinking about your house building again? Home building?
Oh, maybe. No. I was just like, okay. And it wasn't even cold. It was like not room temperature, just a little bit cooler than room temperature. It came out of the fridge, so it's not...
Oh.
Super cold, but it's not like hot. I don't know how to describe it.
It came out of the fridge, but it wasn't cold?
Mm-hmm.
Was it out of the door of the fridge?
Yes.
So you were just using the dispenser on the front of the fridge. It's not refrigerated?
No, I don't know. I always drink it with ice.
Oh.
So.
But this time, no ice.
I went because I was going to chug it.
Yeah, you got to drink it.
And I thought if it's colder,
yeah,
I can't chug it. So I chugged it, and I felt so sick, Matt.
Yeah, mine's always straight out of the tap.
Yeah, I haven't drank water since then. So I'm a little thirsty, but I'm trying really hard. My water is staring at me, but I'm going to wait for a commercial, and then I'll take a drink.
You should feel free to not remind the listeners about commercials and to drink the water on mic, and people probably won't notice. It's fine.
Okay.
It's probably just me being stupid. But
oh, man.
Gives us something to talk about, so that's nice.
Right,
that's
right.
handy.
Thanks, Matt. Took your advice. Wanted to puke.
Yeah. Speaking of water, but on the opposite side of your body, I ran into an article about bidet attachments.
Oh, did you run into one, Matt, or were you Christmas shopping for yourself again?
I ran into one. I was going...
How'd this thing get here?
Yeah, I was doing my regular web browsing, and I see bidet attachment. Our favorite bidets are currently on sale. Here's where you can get them. This was a USA Today one, right?
Oh, so...
And so you're looking at pricing. You can pay as much... One of the recommendations is the Toto Washlet C200. Once was $715, now $429.
Oh.
Okay. Their number one pick is the Brondell Swash 1400.
Swash.
Currently discounted to $499. Yeah, in fact, the name of these things is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to share it with you. The different names. The Tushy Classic at Tushy is $89. So clearly these are going to vary in quality, but that was listed on amongst their best bidets on sale.
There we go. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
Right. The cheapest one on this list is $35.99.
Oh.
So you have quite a big range. You can go anywhere from $35.99 to more than 10 times that much.
Now, I just read an article about how it's okay to give everybody the same gift this year.
Oh.
And in the suggestions was if it's a bottle of wine that you love or if it's a candle, that's fantastic. But the $35 bidet, I mean, you could play Oprah there. You get a bidet and you get a bidet and you get a bidet.
That would be hilarious.
Right?
What are you trying to tell me? You're giving me a bidet and they look behind to see if there's something going on.
Remember that Christmas when Grandma gave us all bidets? Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, a bidet from your grandmother would be especially epic.
Well, she wants to stay hip with the kids and a gift that you'll use, and every time you use it, you'll think of your grandma.
Yeah, now that I think about it, and if you think about, as the elderly are moving on, we're having less and less people who, lived through the Great Depression, for example.
Okay.
But imagine people from that generation would be pretty offended by a bidet. I don't know. Maybe not.
Offended by?
Maybe think it's excessive or something. Okay. Like we had to wipe with leaves during the Great Depression or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
Or we had to drag our rear end across the lawn when we were kids.
Oh my God.
Something like that. And,
uphill both ways and in the snow.
Yeah, now you got a thing that sprays you clean. Okay.
Oh, funny.
So that's what I got about bidets.
So there it is about bidets.
Except I still have yet to try one, and I still am endlessly, fascinated and thrilled to try one someday.
I know. I've never tried one either.
Yeah, I want to try. So I know I looked into them before, and you might think, oh, man, that cold water back there, I don't know about that. Well, hopefully your toilet is close enough to your sink, and you can actually run a tube there from the hot water spigot into the bidet. You know?
In your wall.
Well, like through your if your sink's right there, you can just use the cabinet right through there.
Right. I just pictured like a DIY with like, the plastic tubing on the outside and a funnel and like, hey, this is our DIY bidet we got going here. You just hook it up to your sink and that's not what you meant. You meant off the actual spigot, not out the faucet.
I probably used the wrong word. Yeah, underneath the sink where you have the hot and cold water.
I think you used the right words. It was just where my imagination took me, like redneck bidet.
Right, redneck bidet. I think that exists too. You just get a hose, attach it to the sink itself, to the faucet. There you go.
Yes.
And run that to where, and boom, done. But then I wonder, okay, if we've got the bidet hooked up to the hot water there coming out of your sink, doesn't it typically take some time to prime that pump? To get the hot water to the sink?
I think you needed to say that a lot faster, because prime the pump and talking what you're talking about. Wow. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my hot water in my bathroom at the apartment, it's hot fast. The girls' bathroom, it's not so fast. In the kitchen, it's not so fast. So, I mean, if you're talking about just letting the water run to warm up, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can do the double hand wash. You wash your hands before and after.
That's wise, yeah.
And then you could get the hand washing, would raise the temperature up to butt comfort. And then when you're done, you can go back to the sink and, and look at that. Hot water's waiting for you.
I think, Matt, if you hadn't already given cash for Christmas gifts, this could be your gift. Like, forget an actual bidet. I'm going to give you a DIY redneck bidet. Here's some tubing. And you make it, and you're welcome.
Here's a tube and some duct tape. Have fun. Ta-da.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. Right. Now, there is a truck stop that we always get gas at that always advertises, miles away, that says every bathroom has a bidet.
What?
And, it's on I-29 North. 29? Yeah, 29. Iowa somewhere.
Okay.
It's like right past Missouri, Iowa somewhere, and they advertise bidet, and it's like, instead of having stalls, they have rooms. Like, it is a ginormous bathroom that has a bidet and its own sink and its own paper towels or a hand dryer in each, and it's like an enclosed room, so you can't see feet underneath and you can't see over the stall. So each bathroom is its own little room. So I've
deluxe
been there, but I've never used the bidet because I've got my children with me and I don't want to try to figure that out. So
come on, Kate.
I know, I'm just not adventurous enough, I guess.
Do it. Or have Monty do it. What about Monty?
Oh, I should ask him. He's never been with us.
Okay.
It's always just been us girls. And we're always in the same bathroom because it's a truck stop. Safety.
Wow, what a thrill. So a truck stop off I-29 in Iowa somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sydney, maybe?
Well, what a thrill. Here you go.
All right, what a thrill.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't thrilled yet, but for those who like the thrill, there you go.
Catch the thrill of a public restrooms bidet. Today.
Exactly.
Bidet today.
Bidet today, on your way.
Yeah. So, Kate.
Yes, Matt.
I ran into this article from the Wirecutter.
That's one of your favorites.
It is one of my favorites. Yeah, they have good advice. Typically, it's reviews for like tech products or even like home products, things like the best blender, or, just a variety of different gadgets. And other times they have tips. And so this one I found to be not especially timely, if that makes sense. The headline is How to Put Away Christmas Decorations So They're in Great Shape for Next Year.
Oh.
Isn't that premature?
A little bit.
I've got a couple weeks here.
Do you think they were trying to schedule their post?
Maybe.
And it was like, whoops.
Or they may think that people are going to be too busy after the holidays to be able to randomly browse and run into an article like this.
Oh, that might be it.
I mean, I clicked it and am now sharing it, so there might be something to that.
Or as fast as they went up before Thanksgiving, they're coming down on the 25th. So here's a good way to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think pandemic rule, this is the time for all the people that take forever to take their Christmas lights down to keep them up until July. I think pandemic rules allow you to rock those Christmas lights a lot longer than normal.
Well, I'm going to admit that we left our Christmas lights on the balcony of the apartment all year long. And when we used it, during the summer, we call them party lights.
See?
Not Christmas lights.
Yeah, are they white lights? Are they clear lights?
No, they're colorful lights.
Oh, okay.
So they're party lights.
Good enough, yeah. Do they twinkle?
No.
Okay, I got the impression...
I'm sure there's an option, but...
Well, I got the impression that twinkling lights aren't as prevalent as they once were.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure if it's due to the fashion, the style of it, or if it's the technology of LEDs instead of incandescent lights. You don't think so? You're questioning this.
Well, I'm starting to think about, do I see more twinkling lights or do I see more steady lights? I don't know, Matt. That's a good question.
I'm searching now. Flashing lights Christmas. I don't want to... We've talked before about confirmation bias. If you're searching for, do Christmas lights blink less these days?
Did you Google it or did you go to...
I started with DuckDuckGo, but then I didn't see enough results there, so I've switched to Google now.
Okay. What's the other one that you told us about?
The other...
Guaro?
The other search engine?
Guano?
Oh, Quora. What did you call it?
Guano.
Oh,
Guanaco.
You said guano at first.
No. Samsonite. See, I knew it started with an S.
Okay, now I'm trying Christmas lights. Flashing Christmas lights less. I give up. I can't find anything. I think I saw it on YouTube.
Do LED lights not flash?
I think they do, but it may require a different mechanism or... some kind of computer chip or something, because historically with the flashing lights, you got a flashing bulb you put in there, right? Like one bulb, you put one bulb in there and that would turn the whole deal.
Is that... I'm trying to think. We've got a lot of these battery pack lights, string of lights in the house that they can be on, they can flash, or they can dim. Does that make sense? They get bright and then they dim. So it's not like a flash.
Oh yeah, that's one really nice thing about. You could do that with incandescent ones too. Yeah, they glow basically, brighter and softer. This just reminded me. A year ago, just over a year ago, I visited a friend in Austin and helped him put up his Christmas lights. Now, by help. Mostly it was me standing at the bottom of the ladder and getting ready for him to fall off the ladder. And then I was going to see, I was like, how could I break his fall if he started falling off? I guess I could push him midair into that bush or... Yeah,
because you don't want to be on the receiving end of the fall.
Right. So it was pretty scary, him putting those up there. And he's like, that's nuts.
You were prepared to catch and then push into the bush instead of being flattened by your friend?
Not catch, step aside and just push.
Okay.
Just move, midair, just push him over a little bit. Just to,
kind of like if he was a volleyball.
Yeah, it was.
And coming towards you. You were going to spike him into the bush.
No, I was going to guide him.
Guide. Set him into the bush.
I guess it is kind of a catching and swooping maneuver.
Okay.
Or just be like, well, how would I aim his head away from the ground?
Okay.
So that his head wouldn't smash into the ground.
You're a good friend.
No, thank you, Kate. I think so, too.
You're like, don't fall on me.
That's beside the point, though. The main point was then he puts them all up during the day, and then me, his wife, and the kids went off and got barbecues somewhere, right?
Right.
And then so in that time, the sun's gone down, and then we come back home, and one strand is flashing.
Oh no!
And it's at like the most inconvenient location too.
Oh no!
It's at the peak, more or less. And I forget how she said this, like, well, that's not ideal, or that's problematic, or something like that.
Well, that's not what we were going for.
One strand. And it turns out the one strand, like the flashing in that particular case, was indicating that one of the bulbs is messed up. And like it was basically a failure mode, is what that meant on this particular strand of bulbs. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. So, I mean, you turned off the whole display only to try to figure it out the next day. You don't just leave it up, right?
Correct. Right. Yeah, they turned it off, and then he was set to fix it on his own, so I wasn't there to, but he's still alive. He's still alive. I wasn't there to potentially save his life if he were to plummet from the ladder. Oh. Yeah, he was up there on the top rung of that ladder, and I was like, oh my gosh, man.
Did you call him and say, hey, did you do it without me?
I sent him a text because you're not really allowed to call people anymore, so I just sent him a text, and I was like, hey, you successfully fixed that light? He's like, yep.
You're not allowed to call people anymore?
I shouldn't say that. I've been trained to not really call people anymore. It just seems like that's something that we've...
Don't you think that's a call, though, situation? Are you still alive?
No, I mean, the text was... I should search back through my text history to see if I have it. But I think it was just like... I mean, that's kind of a yes or no kind of thing, right?
Okay.
What am I going to do, Kate? Call him, and then it rings and rings and rings. He doesn't answer, and then I'm going to panic thinking that he's perished.
He did. It was the Christmas lights because you weren't there.
But that's right. I guess I texted him instead. That could have been Aaron. That could have been his wife responding with, oh, yeah, everything's fine.
Aaron didn't set him into the bush.
Meanwhile, she's drinking a glass of wine, delighted at being freshly widowed and getting his life insurance or whatever. I don't know.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, I reach for a text a lot versus a phone call. But I guess I do call every now and then. Maybe do I sound like your grandma when I say, did you call your friend? No, I sent him a text, you weirdo.
Yes, you did sound like a grandmother.
Okay. Like,
Grandma, your voice sounds so youthful.
Right.
Now, keep the change, you filthy animal. Are you aware of that? I mean, we're referencing a scene from Home Alone.
Right.
And you're aware of that movie that is, like, that's not an actual movie that he's watching?
Yes.
Yes.
What is it, Fallen Angels or Dirty Angels or?
Something like that. But it was made just for, they basically
that movie.
Phonied up a movie scene just for Home Alone. So if you're a Home Alone fan and you've seen the scene, keep the change, you filthy animal. With the, I got that out of order. The machine gun first, then keep the change, you filthy animal. The scene with the pizza delivery boy. That movie, that black and white film there, was made just for Home Alone, which I think is fantastic.
Angels with filthy souls.
There you go.
It's a fake film. And what I want to know is, has that actor ever done anything else that we would see him in other than keep the change, you filthy animal?
I tell you what I'm going to give you, snakes. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no-good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going.
1, 2, 10. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Okay, that was fantastic. Audio candy there.
Audio candy.
I think I need to really pare back the number of people I follow on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, I've gotten good at just checking Twitter. This is probably the worst time to be checking it, like at night. Like I don't check it throughout the day. I don't check it in the morning. Like I just check it during one concentrated period.
Right.
Which, first off, takes too long. And second, it's probably many times things on Twitter aren't that fun to read before you go to bed. even though I don't follow any mainstream like news, I try to keep it pretty like tech focused or game focused, like type stuff, lighter material.
Mm-hmm.
But inevitably people are going to retweet what people are going to retweet.
Right.
And you might see depressing things in there.
And you might.
Right. But one thing I've learned and maybe anyone listening could benefit from the same deal. If you just try for a bit, like if you have your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, whatever your social media might be, if you try for a bit just to check it once a day and see how long it takes you to catch up, you might realize how much time you lose basically throughout the day. Because when you're just doing it in little micro bursts throughout the day, you may not realize that you're sinking like an hour and a half or something in the Facebook each day. And so, but still, like I'm just like, I follow too many people. I need to scale this back. And then there's times where I should just quit this thing entirely. I don't know.
I have noticed when I don't do social media before I go to bed, like if I'm just laying there and I need to scroll or just, I don't really want to watch TV or Monty's already asleep or something, I have found if I go to BuzzFeed, mm-hmm. I don't find anything that's like, wah, 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 Debbie Downer. Like it's, random things like 30 kitchen gadgets that Barefoot Contessa swears by, or before and after these child actors, like just junk, I guess, where it's like I can go to bed and not think about these things as opposed to like watching TV about murder or listening to podcasts about murder.
I still think both those things are better than social media before bed.
Really?
Well, you just never know what you're going to get ambushed with.
Well, but murder, it's murder.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're making a conscious decision to watch murder as opposed to having it just invade your eyeballs via really nothing that you did directly.
I do like to go every now and then. Elliot wants to sit in my lap and get on Instagram, and we go to like funny puppies or labs of Instagram, and we just look at puppies for like 20 minutes. And that is a good feeling. That makes me want a puppy. And then my dog just looks at me and is like, what? I'm not good enough for you? I'm like, please snuggle me. And he just scooches away from me.
You don't let the dog ever see what you're looking at on the phone, do you?
No. If I did, he'd be all over the phone because he doesn't handle animals very well.
Now, dogs can actually see photos or videos of other dogs and understand what they're seeing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They don't need to
see
them.
Our dog is obnoxious
in the flesh.
Anytime there's an animal on TV.
That's what I thought.
Anytime. Raccoons, horses, cartoon animals. He's obnoxious. Like, there was one movie that we were talking about watching the other day. I was like, oh, that'd be so cute. And the girls were like, we'll never be able to watch it because the dog will go crazy. Yep, never mind.
Well, I think Instagram is probably one of the more reasonable social medias to be able to, even without making a deliberate move to do a hashtag puppies kind of deal. Like, Instagram is typically uplifting type of stuff.
I think so. I think I'd rather do puppies on Instagram than murder before bed. Just knowing my thought process, knowing my brain.
I just heard that as basically, instead of committing murder before bed.
Right.
Might as well browse some puppies. I'm kind of excited. You see the government is moving to break up Facebook.
I saw a little bit about that.
Yeah, to make them divest themselves of Instagram and WhatsApp, which would be thrilling to me. That'd be great. I try to limit my Facebook use, and then if I'm on Instagram, I'm like, this still counts as me using Facebook.
This still counts.
I think. I don't know. I feel like I'm contributing to Facebook, which I think has contributed many not so fun things still.
Screw you, Zuckerberg.
Gosh.
Just kidding.
I was going to put it that way, but yeah, he is kind of a sociopath, the way that he's let that company. It's just the outrageous stuff, the fact that the outrageous stuff is taken off for so long and they just really haven't done much about it, I don't know. Seemed like they did an okay job around the election.
I think so. I mean, I don't know. I go on there, and I post certain, family things.
And some show related. Yeah. To be clear, make sure you like the Matt and Kate page on Facebook.
Right.
Follow us or on Facebook, whatever. Both. I don't know.
Yeah. Probably the time you spend on Twitter is the time I spend on Facebook and Instagram. I will probably pick Facebook more than Instagram.
Yeah, there's just so much I just found myself one day, and maybe I've mentioned this before, where I'd spent a ton of time, similar to what I was just describing, my current Twitter usage, scrolling, and then eventually being like, why do I care about all this stuff? What am I doing? Why?
Why?
Why? And now, I use it for the show's Facebook page.
Yep.
And you might say, well, hypocrite, what are you doing? I'm trying to give you uplifting content on Facebook to help drown out some of the crazy uncle. I don't know.
Uplifting content?
I think we provide uplifting content, but
I think so.
Mostly.
Yeah. Matt, you're familiar with FAO Schwartz, the toy store?
Yeah, they used to have a location on the Country Club Plaza in Kansas City.
Well, the location in New York City has teamed up with Airbnb to give the family a chance to spend one night inside the toy store.
Oh.
One night, one family will get the opportunity to move in, and Airbnb is also going to give you a $1,000 gift certificate, because if it gets canceled, you can't go. But they'll give you a gift certificate if it doesn't work out. It's just kind of funny timing, because we watched Big the other night, and then I see this story, and I remember Big being like, oh, this will be fine to watch with my girls. There's several scenes where I'm like, oh, wait. And there's an F-bomb, and there's some GDs in there, but fast forward through the part where she's in her bra, and then we're good. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Recommendation for the family from Kate.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that movie, though. I love that movie. I forgot how much I love that movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It was on HBO or something a year ago, or I was like, oh my God, thank God. Big.
It's on Disney Plus right now. That's where we watched it.
Oh, is it? Maybe that's where I saw it more recently. Oh, either way, yes, worth watching. Fantastic.
Yes.
It's a good film.
And if you want to spend the night at FAO Schwartz and play on the piano on the floor, like in the movie Big, December 15th, the online lottery will launch at noon at the Airbnb website.
Okay, so that's Tuesday. That's real quick.
So set an alarm on your phone. Noon, Airbnb website.
I almost said, oh yeah, or just go find a toy store to break into. But once again, like we mentioned before, it's hard to find a big old toy store anymore outside of the one that you recommended in Topeka, right?
Correct. The toy store.
That's what it was called, the toy store?
The toy store. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds made up.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, Kate, what's
up? You know how you have selected websites that you poke around and look for good stuff. Is TMZ one of them?
No, but being on an entertainment radio station, it has been in the past, and it still crosses my radar sometimes, but I don't know when the last time I typed TMZ.com into a web browser, and I don't follow them on Twitter or anything like that.
It crosses my radar, and then sometimes I'm on there and I'm like, why don't I ever think about going to TMZ? And then sometimes I'm on there and I'm like, why do I go on TMZ? But I did see on TMZ.com that Russia's vodka industry is taking a major hit because the leaders of Russia are telling people to lay off the sauce when they get the coronavirus vaccine. Did you hear about this?
Well, I just know that historically they've got an alcohol problem in Russia.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you hear anything about needing to be dry for 2 months?
I've not heard that,
if you get the vaccine?
I've only heard historically and often for a very long time that the country of Russia likes to drink, and then specifically lots of vodka on top of that.
Specifically.
Yeah, vodka's kind of one of their few exports, right?
Right.
So, but no, I have not heard anything about a stay dry for 2 months kind of drive that the Russian government's pushing.
They are, because they're saying that it's an immunosuppressant. So they're asking you to abstain from alcohol for 42 days.
Just in general, not necessarily due to a vaccine coming out or...
Yeah, no. Russians who receive the vaccine, which is administered in 2 phases, 21 days apart, are asked to abstain from alcohol for 42 days because it's an immunosuppressant. And Russians planning to get the vaccine are also supposed to give up drinking 2 weeks before their first injection. So that's about 2 months of sobriety for people living in the nation known to be one of the world's leading alcohol consumers, which is what we said. That's one of the things that we think of for Russia, or vodka drinkers, right?
Yes.
And they also say smoking cigarettes is also being discouraged. So do you think that there's going to be people out there that are like, ugh, I got to be dry for how long? I'll just take my chances.
Well, when I quit drinking during my 6-month triumph,
Whoop, woo.
yeah, that was one of the things in my mind too. It's like, if you're drinking a lot, that actually can weaken your immune system a bit. And then on the smoking front, I felt both like, okay, hey, look, smokers, and also, oh, sorry, smokers at the same time, because, COVID-19, it's a lot of respiratory stuff, and so having weakened lungs is not especially handy right now.
Correct.
And is it especially easy to quit smoking when you're stressed out due to pandemic, so it's like it'd be a great time to quit smoking, but also one of the worst times to go through that. But
Maybe it's a good time to quit smoking and drinking.
yeah, both.
There you go.
Oh, they go together so well, that if you were to do both at the same time, first off, good luck to you, yes. And second off, if you're not getting drunk, it's a lot easier to maintain that self-control and not start smoking.
Right.
So, yeah, good luck, Russia, on all the different things that you guys on certain things you're trying to do, no. Bad luck. On your public health crises, okay, yeah, good luck to you.
There you go.
All right.